Fight On family, Preston's Paradise here. And junior day went fantastic at the University of Southern California. Many recruits, many families came out of the situation constantly saying that the energy is different. This coaching staff feels different. Things are changing, and it seems like momentum is on the up and up, and the trajectory is out of the ballpark, right? So one thing I do want to talk about is a couple of guys from a high school power, the number one high school football program in the country, Modern Day, a program that the USC has had a pipeline with for years and years to come, but has simply the pipes have been clogged a little bit. When you look at the past 5-6 years, when it comes to modern day talent. Elite talent coming to USC. You talk about guys like Matt Barkley, Leinart, Amon-Ra, obviously the Monty Jackson, who's no longer with the program, Brew McCoy. Now, you had Kyron Hudson transfer out. You had Ray John Davis transfer out recently. But with this junior day just passed, a couple guys I'm going to focus on in this video, Tamuhini Tapui, or otherwise known as Tom Tom, modern day defensive tackle, LA Times defensive player of the year. Big time, athletic, quick, mean defensive lineman. Feels good about the program. I mean, sees a vision, and it looks like USC is back in the game. In the flip game for Tom Tom to become a USC Trojan. And then you talk about a guy like Chris Henry, who wasn't even necessarily expected to be on campus this weekend for the junior day. He pulls up, elite wide receiver out of Modern Day. Got great size, physical, got great length. I think had a little bit of adjusting to do, making the transfer to Modern Day this year. Numbers weren't necessarily off the charts, but obviously the potential is still there, being the son of a former NFL player, Chris Henry, and just having, the ability to be versatile, having great size, great length at that wide receiver position, and an incredible catch radius as well. So let's check out my guy Tom Tom here. Really, really high on Tom Tom here, the defensive tackle out of Modern Day. Currently, basically a top 20 defensive lineman in the class of 2026. 6'3", 320 pounds. Obviously, currently verbally committed to the University of Oregon, but it seems like USC is in the mix, man. And when you talk about Tom Tom, man, I just love the energy, and I really love the edge that he plays the game with, right? You can't even. It's very surprising, when we look at his movement. At 6'3", 320 pounds. I mean, you see him here intercepting passes. I think he even had a touchdown on the ground this year, if I'm not mistaken. I know he did have 42 tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss in the season, and just an active, mean defensive tackle, man, out of Modern Day. And a guy that has exhibited, I know you guys have seen this in the past. I mean, also a player that has exhibited the love for USC as the years have gone on. I believe it was in the state championship either last year or the year before. He was giving some USC gestures. You see him here rocking the USC shirt. And a guy that seemed like, maybe he might want to be a part of the program. Now this is before all the various staff changes in the front office. This is before a lot of the new defensive coaches coming in. So, I mean, I don't know why that wouldn't pique his interest, right? You see him on campus for this junior day this weekend. And here's the thing. A lot of people like myself making content on USC football, a lot of fans, alumni of the University of Southern California, they understand what's happening. They can see the vision. They can feel the progress. They can feel the trajectory of the program is on the up and up currently. But it doesn't matter that we feel that way. These kids have to feel that way. These parents, these families have to feel that way. And truly believe that it's in their best interest to become a USC Trojan. And it seems like that is being communicated very well. I mean, when I see guys coming out, I did my last video, I talked about Simote Kyotaga. He came out and he said, they're truly making an effort to make California players a priority. And when kids feel loved on, when kids feel important, and they feel that they're going to be taken care of at a program, that can really do wonders for grabbing them and also continuing, the trend of pulling guys out of certain high school programs to come to a university, especially when it's in state, man. That's all it takes. It might take a year. If we're able to flip some of these guys from modern day, then we could get the train rolling and we could be back to normal in terms of, mending that pipeline and really just indulging in all that talent, man, and getting kids and developing kids and getting them to the next level and getting to their dreams. But Tom here, man, this is a hell of a defensive line prospect. And these are the guys I key in on, the local guys that are big boys, that are athletic, mean, and the best play in California, man. The best in California stay home, come to USC, and it truly seems like this staff, this front office, and this coaching staff communicated that this weekend and really showed that they care about the local talent in the state of California, the wealth of talent in the state of California, and guys playing at these big time programs like Modern Day. Chris Henry, another one out of Modern Day, wide receiver. I mean, number 1 through 3, basically the number 1 wide receiver in the country, basically the number 1 player in the state of California. When you look at most of these rankings nowadays, currently is committed to Ohio State, but hell of a prospect, right? Transferred out of Cincinnati, Ohio. You just see the movement here at 6'5" and his size to be able to move in space like that. Crazy catch at the top of the end zone. This is film from his sophomore year. I think he was banged up a little bit this year. Didn't have a crazy year at the wide receiver position. Did make some big time plays, but regardless, I mean, and just in terms of potential and what he's already accomplished on the high school football field, I mean, a top wide receiver prospect in the country. And like I said, I mean, you just see the physicality, with the blocking here, the ability to move at that size, get out in front and just break away, man, at 6'5" is truly incredible. But this is all it takes. One cycle, a couple guys. If you're able to flip a guy like Tom, a guy like Chris Henry to become USC Trojans, man, that could completely change the game. So I just hope that this staff continues to communicate the mission to keep kids in California, the mission to keep the top talent in California, and not have it leak out to Oregon Zero Natty University, to not have it leak out to Alabama or any of these SEC programs, to stay right in LA and play at one of the greatest college football programs of all time, my favorite college football program of all time, the University of Southern California. You see it here with the defensive line prospects of Mote Kaiotanga, I talked about in the last video. The message is being communicated, right? They want to keep the best talents, the best talents in California. They want to stay in LA, and that was the energy. The energy is different nowadays. The energy. He's saying it was refreshing, meaning it's new, and great. So I truly have faith in this recruiting staff and think they're turning things around. And man, would love to see some flips happen, man. And star-studded event too. I mean, they did a great job this weekend. You see Madden Riordan, a guy that I think is criminally underrated within college recruiting right now, but I think he will, shoot up those boards and eventually end up as a 5-star recruit at the cornerback or the safety position as we move forward. But you see Madden here with Eric Weddle, man. Eric Weddle, big time, former NFL player out at USC, so that's great. I believe he's also coaching high school football right now, so I mean he's probably out there taking some stuff in. But just it's great to even see it is Eric Weddle, but he's a high school coach, so involving more high school coaches, involving more high school programs in events like this, like that's only going to pay dividends for the program in the future. And then yeah, man, my guy Arrogant Nature right here with a tweet that I love, right? Because these are your biggest recruiters, man, in the class of 2026. Talk about Brandon Lockhart, Madden Riordan, and somebody I've talked about recently, and wide receiver out of Mission Viejo, Vance Spafford, man. The recruiting, this staff is doing an excellent job, but there's no better recruiter than, some of these other athletes, man. And great athletes want to play together. So, having guys that are already committed on board, showing guys like, hey, man, this is the move. Like, stop playing around. You don't want to go all the way to Georgia. You don't want to go all the way to, the Pacific Northwest in the middle of nowhere. Come to USC, stay at home, play in front of your family, play in front of your friends, your girlfriend, whatever. And let's win a national championship. That's a sentiment, Let's win a national championship. Brandon Lockhart said they're working. They're recruiting guys. They're working on it, and they see a national championship in the future if we could get all these guys on board and get them to sign on that dotted line. But I just really hope that this modern day pipeline could be mended, be restored, because that is half the battle when you talk about, putting a fence around California and really keeping all this talent at home to flourish and succeed and make it to the next level. So, yeah, I just want to talk about that. I feel very, very good about what happened on campus this weekend with this junior day. And hopefully we see some commitment soon. Hope you guys have a good day. Happy Monday, and fight on.